Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today, I am here on this alley again, but this time I have a tripod that will actually support itself and you can like turn around and shit, and basically, anyone that's excited about this video as much as I am, be prepared, because we are doing the wheelchair thing where we, do the thing. No, but today I will be showing you how I use objects to get around. Now, this is something that I did an entire video on, which I really shouldn't have done because I couldn't properly record it. But now I can record everything. I may need to think about where I'm recording and stuff. But we'll wing it. I'll make sure that you guys can actually see what I'm doing this time rather than just seeing me kind of spin around. So it'll be good. So I don't know if this video will be more of a how to, because that's kind of what the other video was. I'll probably just do a bit more demonstration stuff, so maybe voice over quite a lot of this. But yeah, basically going to be showing how I use objects to both stop, move, turn, all of that cool stuff. And then yeah, I'll show you. So I'm going to show you this from a couple of different angles, but all I wanted to show you was this first one, which will kind of lead into the turning thing that we'll do later, but basically just wrapping around until you slow down enough. But the main thing that I want to show you is how to stop yourself just by grabbing onto an object and like taking force into your arm. Now, this does have some risks, such as the fact that you can tip yourself back if you're not careful, or you can hurt your arm, or seriously injure yourself. So just be careful when you're doing it, that you don't do any of these things. But it's quite an effective way of stopping, depending on the object and also how well you can do it. So I've covered how to properly do it, but I'll just do it again now. Is that you just put your hand or your arm onto the object and just kind of slow yourself down by moving your arm with it. You're not trying to just completely force your arm and keep it straight, otherwise that will injure you. So you're just trying to grab onto it, or put your hand onto it and slow yourself down, taking the impact with your arm. So that is the stopping. Now, obviously, it's not too advisable to do this. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the safest thing, and it can cause injuries. So definitely keep it in mind. I use it quite a lot though. I'm not saying don't use it. I quite like using it. Just know how to do it, and it's not really something that you can get wrong. Otherwise, it goes really wrong. You hit your head into the post or the wall or whatever, or you don't absorb the impact enough. So obviously, it's not the most advisable thing. It can cause some injuries if you're not careful with it. You hit your head or you tip yourself back is another issue, because if you're taking all the impact in here and then it causes you to lean back too much, your front wheels can lean up a little bit. So just keep it in mind that if you are doing this, you can cause your front wheels to tip. But I quite like doing it. It's not the most dangerous thing you can do in a wheelchair. There are definitely risks to it. Just be aware of them when doing it, and if you feel like you are going to tip back, know how to stop yourself from doing it. Lean forwards, and just keep everything under control. So now the next thing that we're going to move on to is probably going to be turning with a wheelchair, or turning in a wheelchair using an object, which is possibly the most fun part about this. It's just so cool. I'm going to show you, and you'll see what I mean. Before turning with an object, right, there's only a couple of things that you need to consider, and that is that you're going at a wide enough angle that you're not going to ram your front wheels into the object, and the direction that you want to go. Now, to decide the direction you want to go, you basically just wait until your wheelchair is facing that direction and then let go when you're in the right angle. Because you see how when I come up to the object, I just kind of grab onto it, and then it will just slowly veer me off of the course that I'm going until I'm ready to let go again and move. So, alright, pretty sure that's pretty self-explanatory. When you're using an object, you can stop yourself using it, but if you decide that you don't want to stop, then don't stop. Just literally tap onto it, or slightly hold onto it, grab it. Yeah, there's basically nothing saying that you need to stop when you grab onto the object. So literally just holding onto the handle. Obviously it's kind of dangerous with this because if my hand doesn't quite hit it and I end up just punching the post, then that can be quite dangerous, or like quite painful at least. But you can still turn without holding onto the post. You know, you can either, if I can just move myself, and just hold onto it, and you see how I'm turning already. Like, I didn't do anything, I literally just had my hand on it, and because obviously the gravity was pulling me down the slight hill, it did move me forwards, but because I was holding onto the post, I turned. Yeah, it's basically just either hold onto it or wrap your arm around it or put your hand through one of the holes and you spin, baby. It's probably the most fun thing to do in a wheelchair, in my opinion. I just love doing it. That and the like butt scoot thing. But yeah, it's fun. It's so cool. It's so fun to do. Now you can bring that into the next part, which is where you move using an object, which I'll show you now. So this is just one good way of quickly gaining speed if you're moving or you want to like quickly redirect your speed. You can see it here where I come along down the alley and then grab onto it, pull myself along, and then it just boosts my speed so much. And this is probably one of the most useful things for if you want to go quickly. Obviously, just keep in mind that you might bash into the object. That was pretty simple. You literally just hold onto object and pull it, and then you move. Simple as that. Bish, bash, bosh, done. But if you want to include it onto the turning, I'll show you that now. But basically, as you're turning, you know, you do the thing where you start turning, you literally just grab onto the object and you spin around it, just making sure you don't hit your wheels or any of you on the base of it. But yeah, basically you do that, and then you're going to pull as you get to the point where you would let go. I'll show you now. There's honestly not that much that I can really say about this to make it any easier for you. As long as you can understand gaining speed using a chair and turning, that's all you really need. That's it. That is literally it. You're literally just holding onto the object. And that is it. That is literally all you need to do. Like, you literally just need to know how to hold onto the object and pull your arm, and that is it. This is what the original video was meant to be of this little thing, using objects to get around. I don't know why it wasn't the first time, but you know, it is now. We've done this video. I am super happy with how this turned out. And yeah, it's just kind of one of those things where you get used to doing it over time. So, you know, you just grabbing on, knowing where to put your hands, how to move them, kind of like sex. But yeah, that is pretty much it. You just need to know, like, how your wheelchair will react to you using different things in your environment. Everything has different risks to it. You know, if you're pulling yourself from an object, it could be loose, and then you end up breaking the object, and then, you know, you just don't go anywhere. You just need to learn how your wheelchair will react to you using different objects in certain ways. Obviously, there are risks to all of them. Being able to identify an object that won't break is really important because, you know, if it's not sturdy enough, it could break, and then you either end up, obviously, with a broken object, you then don't turn or stop, but especially, you know, if you're doing a stop, and you're trying to use an object to stop, and then, say, for example, this broke when I tried to use it to stop, I'd end up going in hitting a car. Which, speaking of which, a car just drove past. But it's just kind of one of those things where you kind of get used to being able to identify certain objects. So, obviously, if you are going to try and stop and you don't stop in time, you know, it can lead to incidents, or, you know, you get pushed back, or there's just so many things that can go wrong if the object isn't going to be sturdy enough. Same with the turning. If you're going to be spinning around an object, you know, it can also mean that you either spin and go the wrong way, or, you know, it doesn't quite have the right turn, or, you know, you hit the object. And just being able to identify what will and will not move is really important for this. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's definitely going to be better than the first one, because, you know, that first one we don't really talk about. Yeah, this one I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed making it. This is something that I use all the time, so it is good when you can learn it. You know, as I said before, if you're using an object to gain speed, you know, I was already going pretty fast, but the amount of speed that I was able to get just from pulling on an object is incredible. And in fact, because I normally use this post here, right, I will normally grab onto this post and go down that alley, or that way, and then, you know, it will be this case where I'm coming down this alley, which already gets me some speed, and then I'll be spinning and I'll pull myself off. Hang on a minute. And then, you know, I just go, and it is so fun, so cool, and I really hope that you guys can start implementing it in your pushing style. You know, as I say, everyone has their own unique style for pushing. Mine uses quite a lot of grabbing onto objects and pushing off of them. You know, another thing I didn't quite cover was if you're going at like an angle to an object, you know, I'm coming towards this object, I could push off of it and kind of use the pushing off of an object as well as turning, I guess, you know, going the right direction. And it's just, there's so many different things that you can use objects for in pushing. There's just so many benefits to it. As I said, there are risks, but I think if you're comfortable taking them risks, then it's definitely worth it. And yeah, that is all I've already got to say for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, all of that usual stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.